I thought that was a bright idea. Ah!
Hey guys, welcome back. This is Jose, the California beekeeper. Today we are going to take you along with us. We're going to go do some weed eating at a bee yard. Last night we took a couple hives from the shop. They were cell builders. We wanted to get them out of the shop and taking them into some yards. There's a lot of weeds growing around there, so we are going to weed eat and give you some tips on how to weed eat around your pallets, the do's and don'ts. So if you're new to this channel, go down below, hit that subscribe button, give us a big thumbs up on this video, and if you want notifications, go hit that bell. Go follow us on Instagram and Facebook, the California Beekeeper. Cut. All right, we got two weed eaters, one for Kelly and I. We like these lightweight Ryobes, 2-cycle. They're easy enough to manage all day. If you've done weed eating, you know carrying these things all day is pretty tiresome. So we like to go with these lighter duty weed eaters. They do make some heavier duty ones that have the whole straps, and you're able to manage them a lot easier, more comfortable. But these ones work great. They're cheap, reasonable, and good enough to do the job. So we have our string. This is a Echo brand string here. Seems to work very good, and we got our fuel. We are ready to go. It's gonna be a hot one today. So the reason we weed eat around the pallets as close as possible is for fire breaks. So we like to keep things low to the ground, all the way down to the dirt. If you have ever experienced beehives burning and having those fire breaks, then you know how important it is, and these fire breaks really do save your apiary yard. So it's very important. We live in a time where everything goes dry fast. You know, in the fires, when they roll, these flash fires that go through the brush, they go very fast. All they need is good break, and that'll save your yard. So I left some room here just so I can place a pallet, easily put them in there like so. So this is our before, and we'll get it down as close to the dirt as we can, just like so. Anyhow, we'll be moving in some more hives here. Got a couple more that I need to move over from the shop.
Max is 2.5 years old, going on 3, and so we've been beekeeping with him since, you know, I've been pregnant. If you have a toddler, or if you have a young child that's going to become a toddler, a trick to beekeeping with them is to bring toys. So for example, today we are weed eating, so we brought his lawnmower for him to play with and pretend like he's, you know, working alongside with us, and that keeps him in good spirits. We bought a lot of snacks, a lot of drinks. Gatorade, and then we always have YouTube or, you know, TV shows, whatever, to keep him entertained if we absolutely need to. It's important to have shade, and then we also have his bike. Yeah, it's important to have shade, you know, either in the car or under a tree, any kind of shade, just in case they need to nap. And yeah, just a lot of toys, because they do get bored. That's pretty much the only way that we can get any work done, is by keeping him entertained too.
So we get as close as possible to the dirt, the ground, weed eating everything there is around there, exposing the dirt. I'll come back with a blower and I'll blow all this dry brush that we just weed eated in order to get all this fuel out of the way, just in case there is that fire that we've already had roll through here in the past. So this is how I weed eat, as close as possible to the entrance and around the pallet. You do get the girls stirred up. So as you can see, you want to do it as fast as possible. And if you don't want to disturb the beehive, then avoid the entrances and just do it by hand if you want. But I like to get the perimeter of the pallet always. So right now it's the middle of the day. This is something that we just wanted to get done. You just never know when there's going to be a fire that rolls through here. So the quicker the better for us. Everything's dry around here. So we moved these hives yesterday, last night. We'll be bringing in some more in this evening. So we just want to knock everything down. I guess the best time to weed eat would be close to the evenings or early in the AMs. So you don't get so much of this flight, disturb the bees, and you know, they get a little upset. So we're going to take a little break from weed eating around these entrances, let them get settled in a little bit. But that would be the main thing, is knocking your grass down as close to the ground as possible. You just don't want any of this fuel that's left over. The dry brush is what I mean when I talk about fuel. Getting anywhere near your pallets, because the pallets will ignite, especially the ones that have been treated with wax. There's some guys that treat them with other things, but they do ignite, and they will ignite fast. So when you're weed eating, and if you do have your hive that's disturbed and getting a little stirred up, you can suit up. I'm fine with my veil, but it's all preference. You can. Kelly, she's wearing a full suit. Just in case this was going to happen. She's wearing shorts. It's a ventilated suit, so that's always good to wear in the summer. But you're not doing anything other than disturbing the hive. You are getting them a little upset. These ones are a little stirred up because we did move them in last night. So no need to panic. You're not harming the colony. All you're doing is just stirring them up. So there's no need to have too much concern of, am I hurting the hive? Am I killing bees? No, you're doing none of that. You know, if you don't want to get too close and disturb them, just do a nice perimeter fire break around each pallet is good enough as well. So if you are doing a little weed eating and the bees are being aggressive towards you, so what I would recommend is just turn off your weed eater. That vibration does attract them towards that weed eater and towards yourself. So just turn off the weed eater and just calmly walk away. You know, what works well is putting your head down and just walking away. You know, some guys will tell you to run in circles and zigzag motion, psyching the bees out, but that doesn't work. Trust me, I've done it. So it's a good trick to always do to the newbie. So yeah, always recommend that to the newbie. But if you're just trying to get away from the bees that are angry and are aggressive, just walk away, turn off the weed eater, and you should be good to go. We got here a little late. We weren't planning on using this yard, but if you do plan on using yards, I would recommend weed eating when everything's still kind of green. That way you get a head start in knocking the brush down, or else it just kind of gets a little too thick. You don't want to, it's a lot easier weed eating when it's dry, but the point of weed eating or doing fire breaks is to knock it down before you have a problem with any fires. So that would be my tip as far as when to weed eat, prior to the grass being dry all the way, or prior to using the yard. There's other guys that do other ways of fire control. They'll rent a bobcat and they'll disc around their bee yard. We do have a property owner here that does fire breaks around the whole perimeter. So we do have a fire break already that has been passed through with a dozer. He did that in the whole perimeter of our yard, but still, we are being extra cautious and doing our own fire break.
Today was my second time weed eating in my whole life, and I decided to wear a ventilated suit because it was 92 degrees out today, which is pretty hot, and you're hotter, you know, in your suit. And the ventilated suit keeps you much cooler. But since I've only weed eated twice in my life, I didn't know any better. And I asked Jose, what do you think about me wearing a ventilated suit? And he agreed. He signed on to the idea. So, lesson learned, do not wear ventilated suits when you're weed eating. I will show you my legs. So I also wore shorts. It was a little bit painful, but this is what it looks like. Lots of wet foxtails sticking in through the suit, but we survived and the yard looks great now. So Jose will show that to you.
So this is it, guys. We eat a good amount. Better safe than sorry. We'll just take a closer look to, this is a junk pallet here that was here. I know we all got them, so we're getting there. So here you go. It's pretty close to the ground. Like I said, I'll come back here through with a blower, and I'll just start blowing all this away from the yard. This is how ideally I would like it to look. Here at a second yard, have to suit up here. We got a lot of the hives here, so what we have here is a bunch of thistle. So if you're familiar with the star thistle, it'll get these little spiky thorns where they flower. And once those things are dried up, kid you not, they will go through your pants and they hurt. So we're gonna clean up around all this green stuff. We're just gonna whack it back down. We did do a fire break here, but we are gonna get rid of the stuff that's growing near our fence line. So that's that. Let's rock and roll, guys. Weed eat it all the way around. Give you guys a closer look. Right next to the pallets where I work them. I like to get pretty close all the way around. That's pretty important to me as far as just additional protection. You know, if you're gonna weed eat, you might as well do it right. You know, could make a difference, could not, but at least we're putting in the effort just in case we have a disaster rolling through here again, like the campfire. So, and I always like to just, when I'm doing something like this and there's a lot of colonies, and I don't want to be too careful. I'll just suit up, and it makes time fly when you're able to work efficiently and not worry about getting stung or about taking these bees off. They are very, very disturbed, but that's okay. You know, it's just right. It's just something that we have to do. We do it every year now. And just for those that might have questions on, well, you're getting a bunch of grass in their entrance, so that's really not a big deal. If you want to stay clean, yes, you know, I would clean that up. Maybe in the evening, once the bees are home, just go by with just a little brush or a broom and just clean that right off. I mean, it's pretty simple to just clean it up. Broom might work great, but I do come with our backpack blower, and I do my fire breaks, make sure they're cleared out of any brush or fuel. That's it, guys. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already subscribed, go down below, hit that subscribe button, give us a big thumbs up on this video, hit that bell for notifications. As soon as we drop a new video, you'll get notified, so make sure you do that. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the California Beekeeper.